I am sitting here at 2 a.m., and I am looking at a text message from my father that I just cannot get out of my head. The family drama is really getting to me. I never thought I would be the kind of person to talk about family drama on Reddit. Here I am, and I am talking about my family drama. My father sent me a text message that says we've chosen to sever all contact. Stay away from us forever. My father really said that to me. There is no explanation. There was no warning. My father just decided that he does not want to talk to me. The text message from my father is still on my phone. It is really upsetting to me. I am very upset that my father would say something like that to me. My grandmother passed away 3 months ago. My grandma Helen was a woman. She had a lot of money that her parents left her. She made good choices with it. And she lived in the same house for 50 years without spending too much. We all knew that we would get some of her money after she was gone. Nobody really talked about it when she was alive. My grandma Helen was just too fun and full of energy for us to think about what would happen after she was gone. We just did not think about it because my grandma Helen was always there. For us, the reading of Grandma's will should have been simple. Grandma had 3 kids. My father, Robert, my Aunt Linda, and my Uncle James. Grandma always said that she would divide everything equally between my father, Robert, my Aunt Linda, and my Uncle James. When we all got together in that small lawyer's office, things did not go as planned. Very quickly, the estate was really big. A lot bigger than any of us thought it would be. The house by itself was worth than $1 million. Which is a lot of money. Then there were these investment accounts that none of us even knew existed. What really caused problems was how everything was split up. The house was given to Aunt Linda, which made sense because she had taken care of Grandma for the 5 years. Uncle James got the part of the investments. My father got a part of the investments and Grandma's old jewelry, which is really pretty and special. Grandma had always said she would give this jewelry to my mother. So it was weird that my father got it instead. My father said something that really upset me. He said, "This is nonsense," when we were sitting in the lawyer's office. He thought that Linda was not a person, he said. She did some things to my mom. My father said Linda kept us from seeing my mom during the COVID pandemic. He also said that Linda turned my mom against us, which is a very sad thing. My father really believes that Linda manipulated my mom. Aunt Linda's face turned really red. She said, "You think I kept you away from us, Robert? You only came to visit us 2 times in the last 5 years. That is all? 2 times, Robert." That was the start. The accusations started coming out over the few weeks. My father said Aunt Linda was hiding some things that belonged to Grandma. Then Uncle James said my father took some things from Grandma's house before she passed away. Old feelings came up like who Grandma loved more, who did more for her, and who should get what. The whole thing was really bad. I was trying to stay neutral. I really loved all of my family members. It was very sad to see them fighting with each other over money. My cousins felt the way as me. We would send each text messages during the worst times, trying to figure out why our parents were acting so strangely. My family members were being very unreasonable. It was hurting me to see them like that. 2 weeks ago, I did something that I thought would be useful. I was eating lunch with my father. He was talking about how the will must have been changed when someone was forcing him to do it. So I said to my father, "Dad, why do you not all just meet with a mediator or meet with another lawyer? Someone who is not on any side, and who can help the will issue get worked out." My father was really upset about the will. I thought that talking to a mediator or another lawyer would be a good idea. I said this because I wanted to help my father and the rest of the family with the will problem. He just stopped talking, with his fork in the air over his food. "Whose side are you on?" I am not on anyone's side. I just think that the people who are fighting are not going to solve anything. The people who are fighting for something, they are the ones who are going to make things worse. I do not want to be part of it. I just want to stay out of it and think about what's really going on with the people who are fighting. The fighting is what I am really thinking about. I know what you are thinking. You believe that I am mistaken. You believe that Linda deserves to get the house. The house is what you think Linda deserves. I did not say that. He got really upset. Said you didn't have to. Then he threw his napkin on the table. Just left. I was surprised, so I paid for our lunch. I thought that he would calm down, like food guy always does when he is mad. That was the time I saw him. Then 3 days went by. I got a text from him. I called him away, but he did not answer the phone. So I called my mom, but she did not answer either. It went straight to voicemail. I was really worried. I decided to drive to their house to see what was going on. When I got there, I found out that my car key to their place was not working because it had been deactivated from their smart lock system. The worst part happened. Week when my cousin Sarah called me. She said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know something. Your dad has been telling people that you tried to get him to give up the money he is supposed to get. He is saying that you and Linda planned this together from the start. Your dad is telling everyone that you and Linda were in on this thing together." What? That's insane. I know this sounds crazy. Most people do not think it is true. Aunt Carol and Uncle Pete really believe it. Uncle Pete is really trying to convince everyone about this thing. He is really on a campaign to make people believe it. Aunt Carol and Uncle Pete are totally into it. I hung up the phone, and I felt like I had been punched hard. My father, the man who taught me how to ride a bike and took care of me all night when I was sick with the flu, was doing something that really hurt me. He was turning my family members against me. You know what it was all about. Money. He did not like my idea to see a mediator, someone who could help us work things out. My father was doing all of this because of money, because I suggested we see a mediator. The funny thing is, Grandma would be really horrified. She always said that money shows what people are really like inside. I guess she was right about that. Then she would also say that family is more important than money. No matter how much money you have. It seems like her own children did not listen to that lesson from Grandma. Grandma always put family first. Her own children do not do the same. And that is really sad. Grandma said family is what matters, not money. It looks like her children think money is more important than family. And that is not what Grandma taught them. I am still trying to understand everything that has happened. There are days when I feel like I want to stand up for myself and tell everyone what really happened. Then, there are days when I think that maybe this is actually a thing. If my father can give up on our relationship easily just because of this one thing, then what did our relationship with my father really mean to him? My father and I had a relationship. So I thought. But now, I am not so sure about the relationship with my father. I am really glad that I have my family with me. My cousins have been very good to me. Uncle James even called me to say that he is sorry about what happened. It is funny how bad things can hurt my family, but also bring us together. I do not have my father anymore. Now, my cousins and I are closer than we have ever been. My cousins and I talk a lot now. Uncle James is also there. For me, still hurts like hell. Though that the sound of the notification made my stomach feel weird before I even looked at it. I just knew something was off. It was probably because Robert Morrison wrote message from Robert Morrison of Dad on my phone. I had updated my phone. He still did that. We had not talked in 2 weeks since we had dinner. My hands were shaking bad when I opened the message from Robert Morrison. We have decided to stop talking to you. Do not try to contact the people you were talking to again. The people you were talking to want you to stay away from them forever. That was it. They did not even give me an explanation. There was no goodbye. The person I cared about did not say anything like I will always love you. But it was like they just cut the person I was out of their life. It felt like they were removing a thing, like cutting out a tumor from their body. The person I cared about got rid of me. I have to take a step. 2 weeks ago, I did something. I was with Emma for 3 years. We lived together for 1.5 years. She even asked me to marry her on New Year's Eve. I could not keep hiding the truth from my parents anymore. They would always ask me when I would meet a guy, and they would look at me with worry, because I am almost 30 and I do not have a husband. The time Emma and I were making plans for our wedding, but my parents did not know anything about it. The dinner was going okay at first. My mom made her good pot roast, and my dad was happy because his team won. I waited until we had dessert. I had to tell you both something, I said, trying to sound calm. My voice was steady, even though I was really nervous inside. I am getting married. I added, I am engaged. My mom's face lit up. She said, "Oh honey, who's this guy? Do we actually know this guy?" Her name is Emma. The room was really quiet. I could hear the grandfather clock ticking away in the living room. My mom was smiling. Then her smile just stopped and slowly disappeared from her face. My dad put his coffee cup down. It made a loud clink sound. My mom said that she did not understand, and she said it after a time, so I told her the story. I had known how I really felt since I was in school, but I was too scared to say anything. That is when I met Emma at a book club. We started out as friends. That is how Emma and I became close. Emma had a way of making me laugh that no one else could. When I was with Emma, I felt happy all the time. Being with Emma, I was the happiest I had ever been. With Emma, my dad did not say anything. When I was done, he got up, said, "We need time to think about this." Then he walked out of the room. My mom gave me a hug. It was not a tight hug, and it was over quickly, and she said the same thing as my dad. "We just need some time, sweetheart." That is what my mom said. I thought that was a sign. They did not yell at me, tell me things from the Bible, or ask me to leave right away. Emma was waiting for me in the car. We had decided that she would come in only if everything went okay. When I told her what happened, she gave me a hug, and I cried a lot because I was so relieved. It was not pretty, but Emma just held me, and that made me feel better. They said it was time to process. What that really meant was time to decide that I was no longer important. Time to process, and that's exactly what they did. They decided I no longer existed. I made 17 phone calls after I sent the text. Every single one of those calls went straight to voicemail. I decided to drive to their house. When I got there, they would not answer the door. I saw Mom's silhouette through the curtain. Then it moved away really quickly. That is when it really hit me. This was not a bad moment that they would feel bad about later. The phone calls and the text and everything, it was all planned by them. They had decided to do this. It was final. The phone calls and the text, everything was final. My sister, Becca, called me 3 days later from her friend's phone. She said to me that they took her phone. They are looking at everything she has. The thing is, she really needed to talk to me about something. "Becca, I want to know what is going on. I am really curious about this. Becca, can you please tell me what is happening now? People are saying that you are having a breakdown. They think that some older woman took advantage of you and mixed you up. Now, they want the entire church to pray for you to come back to being a person and following the church rules. They are talking about your situation, and the church is going to pray for your return to the church and its values for you. To come back to the church and be a church member again, to pray for your return to righteousness and the church." Emma's only 2 years older than me. I know what is going on. I tried to tell them about it. My dad says I am too young to understand things like this, and if I keep defending you, I will lose my way too. Her voice cracked when she said that. I have to go. I love you, okay? I will call you when I can, so you know what is happening with me and my family and you. That was a week ago. Since then, I have gotten emails from church members saying they are praying for my healing. My aunt even sent me a link to something that is supposed to change who I am. My childhood best friend blocked me on everything after her mom saw my engagement photos on Instagram. But here is the thing. They just do not get it. I am not mixed up. My parents are not telling me what to do. For the time in my life, I am really being myself. It hurts a lot that my parents picked their idea of faith over me, their daughter. I do cry in the shower where Emma cannot see me. I still pick up my phone to call Mom when something funny happens at work. I am talking about my mom, the one I always used to call when I needed someone to talk to. My parents and their faith are still on my mind. It is hard for me to deal with the fact that they chose their faith over their own daughter. I am also planning my wedding with the woman I love. The woman I love and I are getting married. Emma's parents have been really nice to me. They treat me like I am their daughter. The woman I love, Emma, has parents. Our friends are very important to us. They are like the family we get to choose. We have a lot of friends who care about us. My friend Becca sometimes sends me messages from apps when she can, and she reminds me that my biological family does not hate me. Becca is a friend, and she helps me remember that I still have some family who cares about me like her. The woman I love, Emma, and our friends make me happy. Some days the grief feels really bad. Days I am angry at them because they made me hide for such a long time. They made me feel bad about loving someone. Now, days I just feel sad for them. The grief feels unbearable at times. They are missing out on getting to know Emma. They do not know about Emma's sense of humor. They do not know about Emma's grandmother's recipe for marinara sauce. They are also missing out on the things about us, like how we painted our bedroom in 3 colors. We did this because we cannot agree on anything. But we do agree on one thing. We love each other. They chose their rigid beliefs over their daughter. I chose love. I know which choice I can live with. I was sitting in a meeting when my phone beeped with a news alert. It said, Morrison Construction under investigation for falsified safety reports at 3 elementary schools. My hands felt really cold. All of a sudden, I knew this was going to happen because I was the one who started it. Seeing Morrison Construction, my father's company, in that news headline was a big shock. It was like someone punched me in the stomach. Morrison Construction being in trouble made everything feel real. It was hard for me to breathe. I got up from the meeting, went to the bathroom. I locked myself in a stall, started reading the article on my phone. My hands were shaking badly. They had discovered everything. The inspection reports that were not real, the bad materials that were used, the things that were not done right to make the buildings safe during an earthquake. This was really bad. It was 3 schools. Then 4,000 kids go to these schools. My father said these buildings were safe. He knew they were not safe. The article said, my father did a job. He did not do what he was supposed to do to make sure the buildings could withstand an earthquake. This is very scary. My father certified these buildings as safe when he knew they were not. The schools my father worked on were not safe for the kids. My phone started ringing and buzzing at the time. I looked at it, saw that I got a text message from my brother Jake. The message said, "What did you do?" I was wondering what my brother Jake was talking about. My brother Jake can be really funny sometimes. I was going to have to call my brother Jake to find out what he meant by his text message. Then, got another message from my sister, Lisa. She said, "Dad knows it was you." Finally, the one that really made my stomach drop was this message. "We have chosen to sever all contact with the people involved. The people involved should stay away from us forever. The people involved are not welcome to contact us." I tried to handle the company's file digitization project issues first. 6 weeks ago, I was helping with the company's file digitization project when I found the discrepancies in the company's file digitization project. At first I thought the discrepancies in the company's file digitization project were a mistake. The inspection reports that were submitted to the school district showed different results than the internal assessments of the company's file digitization project. The internal assessments of the company's file digitization project were full of flags. The company's file digitization project had structural concerns. The company's file digitization project had outdated fire suppression systems. The company's file digitization project had seismic vulnerabilities. The official inspection reports of the company's file digitization project were clean. "Dad," I said, spreading the papers across his desk, "there is something with these reports." He had barely looked at them. "Nothing is wrong. Just worry about your work in your department. These schools are not places for kids. Just look at what happened with Lincoln Elementary. It did not do well on the assessment, but the report that was turned in says Lincoln Elementary passed. This is a problem, because Lincoln Elementary is supposed to be a safe place for kids to learn. Lincoln Elementary failed the test. The people in charge said Lincoln Elementary passed." His face had become really tough, in a way that I had never seen before. "Do you have any idea what it would cost to make those buildings safe and good enough. The districts do not have the money. They would have to close the schools would have to shut down. So we just tell lies. What if there is an earthquake happening? There hasn't been a significant earthquake here in 40 years. Dad, these are children. These are business decisions that you do not understand. Just drop it. I just could not drop the issue. My nephew will be starting kindergarten at Lincoln Elementary year. I kept thinking about Lincoln Elementary and all those kids who will be sitting in classrooms at Lincoln Elementary. These classrooms could actually collapse on the kids at Lincoln Elementary. I thought about the parents of these kids at Lincoln Elementary who drop them off every morning. They trust that the buildings at Lincoln Elementary are safe because we say so in our reports. About Lincoln Elementary, I gave him one chance. I sent him an email that had everything I found in it.
I was really asking him to come himself and fix this problem before someone got hurt. What did he do? He took away my access to the files. Then he told me to pay attention to my work or look for a new job. I was really upset with his response to the email about the files and the problem that needs to be fixed by him. I made copies of all the documents before they stopped me from getting to them. Then I sent these copies to the State Building Safety Commission. I did this without telling them who I was, or so I thought. The investigation went fast. It only took 2 weeks for inspectors to start checking out the schools. They were over the place. The news started talking about it when Lincoln Elementary had to shut down for a while to fix some big problems. Then the other schools had to do the thing. After that, the police started looking into the investigation of the schools to see if any crimes were committed at the schools. My mother called me. She was crying yesterday. She said to me, "How could you do this to the company? To your father? Your father built the company from nothing." My mom, the man was putting the kids in danger. He was doing something that was not safe for the kids. The kids were at risk because of what he was doing. My mom, this guy was really putting the kids in a situation. He was taking care of his family. Do you know what this will do to the family and us? The lawsuits will be a problem. We could lose our home, everything we have. Those parents could have lost their children. It is a scary thought that those parents might not have seen their children again. The children of those parents were very lucky. Those parents were very worried about their children. The woman hung up the phone on me. I was talking to her. Then she just hung up on me. The family group chat got really crazy before they kicked me out. Jake said some mean things. He actually called me a traitor. Lisa told me I should have just stayed out of it. My aunt was really upset. She said I acted like I was better than everyone, like I was holier than thou. But my cousin Maria sent me a message. She says she thought I did the right thing. The problem is, she could not say that to the rest of the family because it would cause more problems. Only Maria was nice to me. The rest of the family was not. The family group chat is still going on. I am not a part of it anymore. My cousin Maria is the one from the family who thinks I did something good. My father was about one thing. I do not understand his business decisions. I just don't get it. The way my father weighs profit against the lives of children and picks profit is something I will never understand. My father's business decisions are very confusing to me. I do not understand how my father can sleep at night when he knows that an earthquake could turn those schools into tombs where kids die. It is hard for me to understand how the man who taught me that integrity is everything could make fake safety reports just to get money. My father's actions are very confusing because my father taught me that integrity is very important. The police are still looking into what happened. It is very possible that the people in charge will get in trouble with the law. The company is probably going to go out of business. My family may never speak to me because of this thing with the company. The company is in a lot of trouble. Lincoln Elementary is getting the work it needs to be safe. All 3 schools are getting this work. This means that 4,000 kids will be safer because I picked them over the things my father said that were not true. I chose the kids over my father's lies. I am not confused about what I did. I do not need people on the internet to tell me that what I did was okay. I just needed to write this down so I can remember why I made this choice. This choice is something that I think about a lot. When I am alone at night, like at 2 a.m., I feel very sad because I do not have my family anymore. The loneliness is hard to deal with. That is why I wrote this down, so I can look at it and remember why I made the choice to do what I did. The choice is mine. I have to live with it. I have to remind myself why I made this choice when the loneliness hits me. Some things are worth more than family loyalty. Children's lives are at the top of that list. I have read the text message many times that I can remember it by heart. We have chosen to sever all contact. Stay away from us forever. The negative energy of the person in question threatens our ascension journey. We release the person in question with love and light. The last part of the message is what really scared me. My father, a man who once said that yoga is weird stretching, would never say, "We release you with love and light," unless somebody else told him to say it. The message is from my father, and the words "release you with love and light" do not sound like something he would say on his own. The ascension journey and the words "release you with love and light" are not things that my father would normally talk about. It has been 3 weeks since the failed intervention. 3 weeks since I saw my parents choose the pathway over their daughter. I keep thinking about that moment when they walked into what they thought was a birthday dinner for mom and saw Dr. Patricia Chen, the cult specialist, sitting at the table. The pathway is still on my mind. I remember the way my dad's face changed from being confused to being really angry to being completely empty in a few seconds. My mom grabbed his arm, whispered something in his ear. Whatever she said made him nod his head slowly, like a machine. The pathway is what they chose. It is still hard for me to understand. He said, "We are leaving." His voice sounded really different. He also said that they are disappointed in the way I lied to them. They thought my tactics were not fair. My father was a shooter. He did not believe in using tactics. If something was not true, he would call it a lie, say it was nonsense. Sometimes he would just get up, walk away without saying a word. The pathway is different. The pathway teaches people to talk in an informal way. This way of speaking takes away the things that make us human. The pathway makes people sound like they are not really talking from their hearts. My father hated tactics, and the pathway is full of them. It all began simply, about 5 years ago. My mom's friend asked her to go to a seminar that was supposed to help people improve themselves. She came home really excited, talking about how she could be a better person and get rid of thoughts that were holding her back. My dad decided to go to the seminar with her. Before long, they were going to meetings every week. Then they started going on weekend trips. Finally, they were going on these long programs that lasted for a whole month and cost a lot of money, even more than I paid for my car. The red flags showed up slowly. My family noticed they were not coming to our gatherings when they had something going on with Pathway. They even got rid of their boat, which my dad loved much, so they could pay for the platinum level membership with Pathway. Then they started to stop talking to our friends who were worried about them. They would call these friends low vibrational beings because they were concerned about Pathway. I saw the pathway take advantage of these people. I saw them repeat things about quantum consciousness and dimensional shifting. I saw the excitement in their eyes fade away and get replaced by an empty stare. What really upset me was when they said they were going to sell their house to move to the Pathways Communal Living Center in Montana. That is when I called Dr. Chen. Dr. Chen specializes in helping families get loved ones out of high control groups like the Pathway. We spent a lot of time planning what to do. Dr. Chen said the key to helping my loved ones was to remind them of who they were before they joined the pathway. She told me that I had to break through the programming that the pathway had put in their minds by using connections to my loved ones. Somehow, they figured it out. Later, I found out from my mom's sister that the pathway makes its members tell them about any behavior from their family members. My request to have a birthday dinner for my mom must have set off some kind of alarm for the pathway. The pathway has this system in place, and it looks like my request triggered it. The text came that night. I've called the people who sent the text hundreds of times since then. The phone numbers of the people who sent the text are disconnected. The social media accounts of the people who sent the text are gone. The house, my childhood home, has a for sale sign in front of it. My childhood home, where the marks that show how tall I was at times are still on the kitchen door frame, is being sold to fund the new life of the people who sent the text in Montana. I was driving by my parents' place week and I saw them putting boxes into a U-Haul. I stopped my car across the street. My heart was beating fast. I was trying to figure out if I should go talk to my parents. My mom saw me first. For a bit, I thought I saw something in her eyes. It might have been that she knew who I was. It might have even been that she wanted to see me. Then she turned to my dad, pointed at my car. He looked over at me. His face did not show any feelings. He got out his phone. A couple of minutes later, a police car came. I left before they could issue a restraining order against me. I did not want to be stuck with a restraining order from the court. The thought of having a restraining order was really scary to me. I just had to get out of there before things got any worse. They actually issued the restraining order. Dr. Chen told me that I did everything right. The thing is, people in a cult have to want to leave the cult. And until they want to leave the cult, there is really nothing anyone can do to help them. Dr. Chen has seen families get back together after a long time, like years or even decades. Dr. Chen said to me, "Do not give up hope." And she also said, "But do not put your life on hold either because of the cult members." I am trying to move. I go to a support group for families affected by cults. I have met people whose children, spouses, siblings have been lost to these cults. We share our stories and ways to deal with this situation. Sometimes we just cry together. It helps me knowing that I am not the one who is going through this strange feeling of sadness. Feeling sad about people who are still alive, but I just cannot reach them. These cults have taken them away from me. Some days I am really mad at them because they were so trusting. Days I am mad at myself because I did not notice what was going on sooner. Days I just feel sad. I miss my dad's jokes and my mom's Sunday dinners. I miss my parents and the way things used to be. I miss having my dad and my mom. I still have hope. I keep my phone number the same. The Pathway can call me if they want to. I write letters to the Pathway in Montana, even though I think they might read them before anyone else does. I hold on to every family picture, every video, and every single thing that shows what life was like for them before, just in case they come back one day and need to remember what their life used to be like with the Pathway. The hardest part is accepting that my parents might never come back, that the Pathway might keep my parents forever. I had a conversation with my parents, and it was about the weather, which is really sad because I did not know that I should remember it. I mean, really remember my parents' conversation about the weather, because it was my last real conversation with my parents. But I keep hoping. It's all I can do.